Okay, so Valley Regional Disc Golf Course, Taylorsville. Hole number one. Here comes my shot. Pretty much just lined it up. Just got a really pretty decent snap, but I didn't pull it as far to the right as I wanted to, but gave me a good look at a par, so kind of pitched this one up. It landed right by the pin, which makes it easy. So I was able to just walk up and start the day off right with a par. Just tap that in, as you can see. Hole number two, pretty basic hole, kind of a pitch uphill but short. So I crushed this one. I mean, just perfect throw. Got it right where I wanted it to. Skipped up probably 10, 12 feet from the basket, which was really nice. So I was able to step up. This was a little bit of a tester, a little bit of a risky death putt, but I had confidence, so I stepped up and just crushed it. Bam, just like that. So I was pretty happy about it. Moving on. A good birdie there, by the way. Hole three. I've struggled with these holes in the past. Today I didn't, thankfully. Just crushed the throw. Got out into the open. You can't even see the basket, but I was able to get out. Had a line. Really good mid shot. Just pretty, put a lot into that one and set myself up to save par. And this was a really tough putt, and I managed to hit it, so I was pretty stoked. Saved a par. Could have been a bogey. Of course, hole number four, not one I'm a big fan of. So, at any rate, I was able to get this one out too. I believe I threw the destroyer on that one. But I went high to hyzer it out, and it actually worked out really nice because, as you can see, I'm out there in the open. I had a look at a birdie here, but that was a really long putt, and so I took a run at it, but a safe run. I just ran over, tapped in, saved the par, which was nice. So I was not super sad about that. Still sitting at -1. Hole 5 is one that can get you. I believe it got me today. Despite having a pretty decent drive, but I pulled it. Didn't give it the right amount of speed, so it just kind of went out to the right. But I had a good look here, and then I just threw my putter high, and it didn't really go as far as I needed it to. Because as you can see, I have a really long putt here, and I didn't have it in me to hit it, so I kind of ran at it kind of low. I tapped in, stupid bogey, which was my only bogey of the day, spoiler alert, but moved on, got my head back in the game. Had some awesome drives on these holes. Hole 6, I struggled with those trees, decided to angle myself differently, really just rip it out, and have it fade back in, which it did beautifully. As you can see, I landed there, 10 feet, 12 feet from the pin, stepped up, put that sucker in. Man, that felt good. So I kind of go on a run here, which is weird. I struggle with these holes a lot, so it was really nice to just not struggle. Hole 7, same thing, angled myself, really crushed that drive, pulled it hard, made sure I got over the tree I needed to get over, and it set me up for another really nice look. Actually, that's right, I was 50 feet past the basket, so I ended up having to just do a par save, and I threw my white mid-range over there and then still had a long putt to save par. Thankfully, my putting's okay because I put that one in just barely. But yeah, that last one I totally way overthrew. I wanted to get over the tree, and then it, just stayed true and went flying. So still sitting at -1, moving on to hole 8. As you can see, that's not a par 3. This one is a really long hole. I mean, this drive right here is easily 300 feet, and I still have another 150 feet after this drive. So, because you can see the basket clear in there, so it's easily at 400 plus. So I played this at a par 4. Took an outside line. I had a tree that kind of saved me for once because I got outside the other ones, as you can see, bounced behind it, but saved a birdie there, which is kind of nice. I did several birdies. I got that one bogey and then started to kind of get hot over here. 9, you have to flick. Every time I try to not flick, I get hurt. I get burned by it, so my only flick of the day was decent. Felt like I could have committed a little more to it, but I didn't. So I ended up, on the wrong side of that path, so I had a really long kind of approach, but I just pitched this one up. Got pin high and just made it super easy to get in. So kind of took a little run at it, but that was a tough run because even here was a 10-foot putt. Mosquitoes were bugging me, so hence the flapping around like a lunatic. I just plopped that in, saved par, moved on. Hole 10. Hole 10 is a really short hole that's coming up here. It's, this is actually one of the first time I've birdied this. I've struggled because I always go over because it's such a short. 192 feet. That's my putter right there, and it's downhill, so it can just sail on you. And so I kind of just tried something a little differently, tried to lay it out, and then it kind of, landed over on that street, but had a look. Putt was true. Got my birdie. Moved on. Feeling really good at this point. Sitting at -3. Knowing what's coming up here on hole 11. Really want to make a run for another birdie here. So I threw my Orange Beast. And I'm pretty good at this hole. I pretty much know the same throw. Gets me in that same spot. Gives me a look every time. So birdied that one. Stayed true. Hole 12 should be birdieable, but I've struggled. They moved it back a little bit. Not that it's too far. It's just finding the right shot because there's a big tree kind of right in the line. So you can't really see it from this angle, but I do get around the tree, but I just didn't give it enough hyzer to give me a good look. So I could have hit this putt. I think I doinked it. I just right off the basket. So ran over and just tapped in for the par. Figured I was sitting at -4. I didn't want to be a hero or anything. Didn't want to do anything crazy. So tried to just hold on to my strokes that I'd earned on the course. 13, I felt like I could have done a little better. I held back. Let's see, I threw the Destroyer again and just really tried to get up over that tree. Almost got over it, ended up in front of it. And actually, you watch this putt, I think this would have gone in had it not hit those trees. The line looked really good on it. It just looked like it was going to come around, but instead it got caught up in the trees and knocked down, so I had to walk over and tap in for another par. But could have been worse, I suppose. So, just going to go and tap this in. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Yeah, it's funny. It's the same as Happy Gilmore. Unfortunately, the score updates are pretty boring from this hole on because I think I par everything else. This one I was really disappointed. I've thrown this hole better, but I just let it. I didn't commit to the rip that I wanted, so I was trying to really put some anhyzer on it to pull it to the right. Ended up on the wrong side of the road and had a really long. I threw my putter there. In hindsight, should have gone with the mid-range, something that would have gone a little truer, because now I've got this really long putt, which I don't make, unfortunately. Took a run just off the strong side of the chains, but didn't get it in, which was kind of a bummer. So I had to walk over there in shame. But still able to save par, which is nice. And just put that in, grab my disc, and move on. Coming down to the final couple of holes here. Still sitting with my 4 strokes. Felt good enough about that. So, knowing 15, it should be pretty easy. It's a pretty straight shot, and this one came out really low, but thankfully I put a lot on it, so it stayed pretty decently true for me. But again, I felt like I had a look, so I just kind of did my weird little, shot, which that looked really bad, but actually that landed me, well within the circle. And as you can see here, it's a cake, just par tap in, basically. Like the POV there, just trusted that I wasn't going to hit my whole camera setup. So I believe hole 16 is one that I have propensity. I've parred it a couple times, but I didn't today. I threw it right at the trees because a lot of times I try to get around the trees. If you can get around the tree, you're in a better spot. But I didn't, and I really thought I had that, and again hit the basket, so I just teleported over there magically, or edited, just trying to make this a concise video. I hate hole 17. They used to put it right by those trees, by that fence. Now they put it way out there, so you have to really be able to crush it, but you can't take a real aggressive hyzer line, so it has to be really nice. I did okay. I mean, luckily I was able to have a straight look at it, no obstacles, which is nice. So I just threw this approach up there, again, right at the pin, super easy putt in for par, which I was happy enough about. So super sweaty at this point. Even though it was a nice cool day, I still was, it's hot out there, no wind, so just put that one in. Confidence. Feeling good that I can go to hole 18 and at least save, another par, keep my score at -4, and pretty much own this course, which is fantastic. So this one, I intentionally went high. Actually, it turned out pretty good because of my angle on it, because it's going to curve back in there in those trees, but decided to use the old-timey filter there just for fun. Same kind of shot. I'm really good at that shot. I don't know if it's necessarily a good shot, but when I can get lined up that way, I can land super easy. I mean, just no trouble at all here to put that in. So there is Taylorsville, Valley Regional. I played it at -4 today. Kind of happy about it. Got a cool pause in there. And here's the last little bit of it. That's where I ended. I was pretty happy about that. So until next time, goodbye.